Vault of Bravery, though, being used now, it looks like here. Popping that extra gold to utilize a Kage turn 1. Alright, getting sneaky with it already. I mean, it's a great way to respond to the Sorceress Inquisitor, excuse me. Can deal the counter damage to kill it, but would you? We'll see. That's a new coin. That is, in fact, a new coin. That would make sense. It is just out there. Again, I was like, oh yeah, people are just running Vault of Bravery in their deck. No, Red, that's not how the card works. Ay. Anyways, here, Frog Knight getting some cool uses. Frog Prince, excuse me. Whenever the unit attacks, give your units a +1/+1 this turn, so able to bounce off these obstacles here and give some units some additional attack power for free. That's pretty nice here. We do see 3 damage lining on Scare Owl's Castle pretty early. Not bad at all. Let's see what Owl has. We do know Owl has removal and interaction, so... And none of these units on the board right now are safe from spell damage. Of course, the Spirit Blast can take out any one of these 2 units and give Kage some more value. However, Rite of Fire is going to be the card to play here. We'll select that spell and deal 2 to the castle. Dangerous that we're dealing damage to the castle, where, you know, it seems like Day is pretty quick here to assert some, you know, board positions. Some board presence, if you will. So I'm not sure how smart it is giving the damage, Oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind. We can just use Kage to wipe out that Inquisitor. Interesting, though. We do put it right up in front of our opponent's castle. We do deal that treasure chest a couple damage bits on the way in, but I would be careful because we can easily give an ambush card that Frog Prince buff. And speaking of, there's the Eternal Phoenix. Going to be enough to trade here with the Kage here. We do not even need the buff here to remove it. Phoenix also in the graveyard, an important card to note. We did see this card in our second game use its devastating Grave Call ability. You pay 9, you resurrect the bird, but the bird will deal 3 damage to all enemies. So very powerful board wipe tool in reserve now for Day out in the open, unless he can interact with this Tombstone in any sort of meaningful way. Not sure if Scarrow can, but it is there. Meditation. Draw a card, view the top 3 of your deck, choose one, put it on top, send the other to the bottom. More deck filtering, it looks like, from Scare Owl's side here. We do know there's a lot of that happening in this deck because of the abilities on Kage to gain counters. And now, of course, the Psy Masters are going to come in as a way to protect the cast a little bit here. Second draw off of the Meditation, allowing the additional copies to come out. Treasure chest for Day here, getting that extra +1/+1 boost. Ahead of whatever unit they were going to play, maybe. I'm not sure if maybe they just can't interact with Psy Masters yet. Miner here for a game treasure. Pegacorn as well to come up and block here. Turn will pass back into Scare's hand. Bit on the defensive side is Day here, it looks like. Unfortunately, is in a position to lose both the Miner and the Frog Prince quite early here to the Psy Masters. Putting him at a massive card disadvantage, in my opinion, as there hasn't really been a lot of draw to help keep Day alive in this competition. We know it's in the deck, but we just haven't seen it, you know, pop up at this point here. Resources are running a little thin. Meanwhile, Scarehowl able to keep healthy with all these draw abilities from things like Meditation, Spirit Blast to remove the Frog Prince with ease. Now we can actually go ahead and actually clear the board here if we want to. Psy Master can trade with the Dwarven Miner here, and the Shield can get off the Pegacorn from the other. If we want to. I'm not sure if that's the play, but it is an option, and it is available. And let's see what exactly happens here, as it looks like Psy Master maybe, yep, going to go ahead and kill the Pegacorn. That is a full board trade. We don't have to throw another Psy Master onto the board if we want to as well, putting us right back up to 3 units on board. We'll see if maybe a Kage goes into play here. Momentum. Alright, momentum for some draw, I guess. I'm not going to be able to utilize that repeated draw effect, but to get more cards in hand is nice, I imagine. We see Brewery going down for Day. We know how much of an all-star Brewery has been so far, for sure. It did bring up, it did pull a lot of work in Shore's case here. Molten Pillar, though, for Scare. We didn't see this card get utilized as well as we could have last time we saw this be played because of Smeckledorf's Destroy All Buildings effect. But I don't think either player is running those cards here now, so we'll see how it works. We'll see what the Pillar goes up against. We'll see how well a Pillar goes up against a Brewery. Excuse me. Keep in mind, this Phoenix is still in the wings here. Actually, next turn we will be able to see that Phoenix get Grave Called as a possibility if we need to. Minotaur, big old 5 to the face. Nothing wrong with that. I guess nothing much else that Scare can do in this case, so just putting in a big beefer to assert some early hits off the board here. This is actually going to force Day to resurrect that Phoenix now and make a trade with the Minotaur. Very peculiar. Very interesting. Yeah, able to just... I mean, I guess, sure, we can remove it, but put you in a bad position now, because now we see Scarol confidently playing the second Molten Pillar, Meditation producing the 2 Fire Drakes, and all these cheap spells there that we've seen Scarol's deck produce. We'll now see that turn into multiple copies of cheap units here, like 2 Fire Drakes. 1 Meditation spell, and we draw a card out of my deck, close to my deck, and then all of a sudden, boom, 2 Dragons? Oh, never mind. That's a Rakanoth. Yeah, that'll do it. Rakanoth will even out this playing field and maybe even clear the game, potentially? I'm not sure. That is a big body. I mean, all the graveyard has been utilized, but yeah, again, it's so dangerous how Rakanoth can just very easily attack one of these obstacles and still get all of the value out of just doing a massive board clear with the graveyard. And maybe that's why Day chose to resurrect the Phoenix as a trade for the Minotaur, because Rakanoth was in hand and didn't want to risk losing the Phoenix Grave Call just by Rakanoth's ability of, oh, let me blow up a couple tombstones and deal some damage. And I wonder if Day's deck is more based around the graveyard synergies between Crusaders and Warlocks. I mean, we saw the Eternal Phoenix, we see the Rakanoth. I wonder if it's about getting some cheap units in the graveyard pretty early, and then, of course, utilizing some big value like Rakanoth, setting up things like Brewery in between to give your big threats even bigger stat values. That might be the game plan. Some options are going to come in, deal some damage to the face to try and respond to the Rakanoth here. Is able to put up enough damage with the help of Demon Soul. And of course, Demon Soul produces a Fire Drake to help regain some board presence. But will it be enough? Can it be enough? Ooh, tag team. Into a Kage. Alright, so 2 stealth units potentially on board here. And this is Fire Drake back to where it was before. We do know another Fire Drake is in hand as well. Cavalry Leader with a Demon Soul. Running in, dealing... Oh, enough for lethal. And that's... And that's game. I didn't read the castle totals, but that was enough for lethal damage. Demon Soul, Cavalry Leader just walks in. Big old chop to the face, and that is the game. Very well done. Very well done today, and the graveyard stuff. Eternal Phoenix and Rakanoth, certainly some scary cards. Certainly terrifying things to watch out for. I think Warlocks should be, or if you're going up against Warlocks, be prepared for things like that. Yes, I think they do just walk through stealth, considering stealth is non-interactable. They just push right over. They move you out of the way as to not reveal your stealth. The benefit is that you keep your stealth, but in doing so, you get pushed out of the way and moved around, so that way they don't end up finding you. But that could just lead to game closers like that. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on into our next match here. Mark going up against I'm gonna call you Trika. If that's wrong, yell at me later. Anyways, Mark going ahead, utilizing that Vault of Bravery here into a turn 2 Merchant's Estate here. Haven't seen our good old friend Merchant's Estate in quite some time. Enters, you gain a treasure. Whenever you play a card that costs 5 or more, you draw a card. So valuing big plays, big spells here. We see a second one going down. Interesting stuff. Of course, the, what was it? Touch of Life going on for Trika into the Earth Knight. When this deals damage to summon an O2 wall. Wall strategy? Earth wall strategy? Oh! Alright, well, talk about a brutal exit. That is a malediction. Malediction. Destroy a unit, your opponent discards a random card, and meanwhile, oh, we saw that a Gaia, Titan of Earth, was discarded as a result. Oh, terrible card to lose there. But, I mean, that's how Mark's going to play this game, it looks like. Playing a lot of high-value spells to get some value off the estates here. Call Lightning summoning a Thunderstorm, it looks like. Getting the extra stat boosts for Sunflowers. They are considered tree folks. They do get the +1/+1 under the Thunderstorm Surge. Sly Fox going ahead doing a Lightning Bolt play. Merchant's Favor into a second Lightning Bolt. Passing back to Trika here. So a very gold-based strategy here. I do like what I'm seeing from Mark so far. And meanwhile, I didn't talk about here, but the Sakura trees are the obstacle on the board for this matchup here. Whenever you destroy this with your attack, reduce the cost of 2 random cards by 1. Nice little discount for some of your bigger units that might be stuck in your hand early in the game here. But neither player has chosen to interact with it so far, so we'll see where it goes here. 2 Sunflowers being taken out by Mark's Bolt, it seems like. Divine Intervention! Oh! Who called it? Who called the resurrection on Gaia? Because that's what we see now. An 8-12 hitting the board. Turn 6. Stomp 10. Whenever this moves, it can stop over enemies with X health or less. Stopping directly on top of an enemy will instantly destroy it, ignoring all immunities. Very dangerous, big, stompy god creature. Which will meet the malediction. Unfortunately, it was cool, but it didn't stick around for long. Sakura tree getting popped by the Sunflower. You might as well take advantage of that stat boost there. You might as well get a little bit of extra value from it with the Sakura tree being killed off. But it's still quite a bout here. 34 health on the castle. Oh, into a deep sea jellyfish. Whenever your turn ends, you give the enemy 2 curses, right? Yeah, put 2 curses in the enemy deck here. Ooh, we're getting to the pirate shenanigans just a little bit more now. The Privateer as well, getting some extra value off this. Judgment Day. Oh, no. No gold in hand. Could not pay for any unit to be saved. That's an effective board wipe. We're going to go ahead and draw the Touch of Life here. Playing a Dread Pirate to respond. Kind of build himself back up a little bit. Into the Hydra. Whenever this takes damage, give it +2/+2 at the end of the turn. Yep, that's Hydra. It will keep growing. So we will see. We will see. Depending on how great Rex deck is, they might win from deck out. Maybe. You think maybe a deck out win is possible? I mean, we are drawing at least 2 cards for every big spell we're playing here. 13 cards in deck to the 20. Hydra will, of course, get the regeneration blown up by a, what was that, Call Lightning? So dealing 1 damage, generating Thunderstorm, Pack Hunting. Oh no. Holy Avenger being played here. Can Grave Call this on Rex turn? Yep. Gonna be played here. Holy Avenger gets Grave Called. Pops the Hydra. Mark now with 12 gold in hand. Merchant's Favor. I'll give Earth. Oh, and there is a Salahar Voyager for a max of nearly 20 gold. I don't think that was the play, though. We are seeing the emote reactions that imply that that was not the correct card to be played off the Pack Hunting. I mean, you have a lot of Voyagers now. I mean, hey, maybe that would work for you. Maybe not. I don't know. At least you had 20 gold. Oh, and there's a hurricane. Board wiping yet again. I mean, there's a lot of board wipes in Rex deck here, and all of them being found to great effect. Whoa! Massive drop off in gold here. Call of the Wild, summoning, what was that? 10 gold worth of random beasts. So War Elephant, Wolf, got a Stone Lion in here. I think something else. I think a Killer Monkey perhaps got stealthed up. Oh. Oh. Sure, you know, that... A pack hunting into Earth and Sage, that works. Give me the +1/+1 for each building you control. Dear God. We're seeing a lot of cards here. Okay, and there's the Kraken response. Yep, you were right. Oh, boy. I mean, yeah, no, that works, but now you got a 14/14 to worry about in your face, so... Honestly, the Kraken might just clean up the building here, right? Just the damage off the overwhelms. Yeah, I mean, taking out a lot of those Earth and Sages, 14/14 being neutralized. Ancient Arbor being played here to regain some HP. We'll stomp right on through that other Earth and Sage. It does have a stomp value of, how much? I couldn't see there for a second. I still can't see it. Let me see. No! All the cards being played. I mean, this is what the deck is doing. Stomp for 3. Yeah, so it was able to perfectly just step right over the Earth and Sage here, putting a 7/7 on the board. And meanwhile, talking about a lot more additional units here. Sly Fox, boosting the Privateer. Uh-oh. But there's the issue. The deck is empty. It has to be the push, or else it's going to be game over. Curse of Betrayal being drawn, giving Mark another unit. Oh no, and there's the Stone Dragon. All these stone walls into effect here. Castle for 5, yep. Oh, the skunk was the extra beast. It wasn't the monkey, excuse me. But yeah, alright, Stonewall making an appearance, but I do not... Jesus, 10 damage on deck empty. I mean, Privateer might be the game ender. 22 damage worth? Probably sneak in a couple more, right? Sly Fox isn't going to get extra damage in. It's out of the way. Privateer's going to block him that. I mean... Why would you pack hunt? Why would you draw? No! The estates, they backfired. Oh, I'm safe. I could just play pack hunting, right? To get extra value. No, you're gonna have to draw. Oh, no. I'm so sorry, Mark. Your hubris was the downfall. The greed. Oh, no. But hey, I mean, that's, holy shit. Let me check some brackets there. So that will mean, who goes on where? Yeah, so Rex gonna take on Scare Owl. Shore will take on Take It Boy in the losers quarterfinals. And winners finals will be Toric and Day. Alright, okay. I think let's go ahead then and get right to our winners. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and let's take our winners finals here. And that way we will figure out who will be game 1 of our grand finals here at the end. So Tarek and Day coming up next here, and then of course the losers brackets. But yeah, let's see who will be our first entrant into our grand finals competition. It didn't have to be the result. No, it didn't have to be. I just there was a bit of devastating greed on one side. If the pack hunting was not played, we would have been fine. Mark would have walked out the winner of that one if Mythic Hunting was not played. But you know, we just get a little greedy. We want to play some cards, and that's happened. You know, never decked out before. I hope, Mark, your lesson was learned. That too much greed will consume you. Well fought, though. I do like what you were trying to do with the deck. Very well done. I believe it's exponential owl, if I remember correctly. It increases each time you draw after taking a certain amount of damage, I think. I don't remember the exact one, but... Anyways, we're getting into the matchup here. Saboteur, turn 1 from Taric into a Blackguard Kunai Warrior. Now go ahead and meet up. Oh, alright, just straight punching each other. No time for dilly-dally. Just straight up punching each other in our grand final, or in our winners final here. Excuse me, not grand final, winners final. And on the board here, we haven't seen these before, but the Bear Hog cages. When you attack and destroy this, you get a 2/2 Bear Hog to your side of the board here. Alright, Black Market going down for Taric. We know this was the MVP of the last game here. Kunai Warrior trading off with the Mobster here. Saboteur dealing an additional 1 to the castle. Going it back to Day. We know that Day has a lot of nice, juicy selections in deck for Taric to take here, so we'll see if any of those get utilized here. But surprisingly enough, no bandits in the turn 1 here. No ways to steal very early and get that advantage rolling. So Horseback Samurai, the turn 4 play here for Taric, does pop the Bear Hog cage, right way to proc the Horseback attack. Getting out the Dread Pirate for free. Ooh. Does also have ambush as well, so it could interact with the Bear Hog cage as well. Yep, which we will see do just then. Doubtful that Taric will be able to play it, unless it costs 3 or less, because the black market won't reduce its cost by too much, but... I don't know. If Taric didn't steal anything that might be cheap enough, I'm not sure. Versus fair to give 2 gold. Cavalry Leader is the card that's being stolen. Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. A lot of damage early on. Response activated. Unexpected Inquisition. Pardon me, being played here. When your opponent ends their turn, summon all 3 Inquisitors. Destroy all units with 1 or less attack power. So Saboteur gets destroyed here, and we get the Sorceress Inquisitor, the Grand Inquisitor, and the Fiendish Inquisitor all on the board, ready to go. Fiendish, whenever a Fiend, Skeleton, or Vampire is in play, you get a 1/1 boost for it. The Grand Inquisitor, you pay 3. If a friendly unit died this turn, draw a card. If it's a yellow card, it costs 3 less. The one that you draw off of the Grand Inquisitor, mind you. Interesting here. We set up 2 courthouses. We don't attack the Bear Hog cage. You get the free 2/2. When you play this card, move a unit from the game, and it returns when it leaves here. So I believe we imprisoned the Horseback Samurai. So I think we might have imprisoned Cavalry Leader and Dread Pirate. I think I missed a couple of those interactions here, but yeah, we did miss a couple of those. Kunai Master going to go ahead, pop in the Inquisitor, dealing some damage to the courthouses and the castle. Private here to make a follow-up attack here. Make damage going on the board here, but there is a lot of cards in Day's hand to work with. Mobster popping the Privateer. It does leave Kunai Master open to destroy one of those courthouses. Did Day have a follow-up? Bag of Corn. Perfect response. First way to keep yourself shielded, as well as protecting your courthouses, which do have some investment locked in them. Taric does have his second eye on those courthouses to move them and freeing the other units that he has still on the board and in play. Vault being sacrificed, you're getting that extra card here. Going for the Loki, God of Mischief. We saw how monumental this card was in Taric's last appearance. Will it prove monumental again? Black Market having that discount effect in play as well. Anything that costs 3 or less is going to be free to play. Anything in Taric's hand that can be utilized to put up some more advantage at this point. Oh, popping the Bear Hog cage, getting that free Bear Hog summon, getting him behind enemy lines. Sneaky to get rid of those courthouses. Very nice board awareness there. We throw it back to Day's turn. Alright, okay, alright. I mean, we know how scary Loki can be. And next turn, Tarek's getting 7 gold to utilize all those stolen cards. We'll see. Dread Pirate gonna go ahead, be the play for Day here. Pretty good steal. We'll trade with the Bear Hog to get some additional steal, right? Yeah, so Day getting a card exchange from Tarek's deck. Oh, what a steal! Double the bandits, double the mischief. Bandits are gonna go ahead and steal from Tarek's deck. Will we see the steal on steal violence? Is this what we're coming to? Of course, Peggacorn in play here can take out either the Loki or the Kunai Master. I'm not sure which one is more favored right now, or if they have a way to play some more defense. Marauder's Fortune, gain a gold, steal a treasure, dissipate, forcing the Kunai Master back. Loki, of course, going to be the kill here. I mean, unfortunately, you have to utilize the Kunai Master again, maybe dealing some more damage. But there's... Oh, no. That is a Rakanoth, freeing both the Cavalry Leader and the Dread Pirate that was reserved in those courthouses. Oh, is that it? Oh, the brewery. That's it. That's lethal. That's game. That's game. The Pirates working its way again, stealing the most devastating card we've seen in this entire tournament here, being Rakanoth, for the sneaky game ender, freeing the cards out of the courthouses. Enough damage for lethal. That is going to be devastating stuff there. And Tarek will move on to our grand final here. But don't count out Day just yet. There's still a loser bracket to head into here. And yeah, we have those matches to settle right now. So I say sure, take it whenever you guys are ready. Let's go ahead and get them up first here, and then Scare Owl versus Wreck to determine who's going to go on to face Day event. Scare and Wreck opting to meet Day in the losers finals. Winner will have a crack at Torek for our grand finals. That is the current path of the brackets right now, and one that is shaping up to be very, very exciting. Now we, of course, have Take It versus Shore. I don't believe I've seen a whole lot of Take It in this tournament. I think we've not gotten a lot of their matches. We're excited to see what they've got to the table here, and they will start off with a Treasure Hoarder. Whenever your turn begins, you gain 1 gold. Sneaky way to kind of increase your gold quite early, quite effectively. Shore opening up with a Priest here, Lava Font in the middle, of course, being a dangerous obstacle. How dangerous this can be. Voyager here to increase some more max gold on Take It side here. Putting them up to 4 gold, or 5 gold next turn, excuse me, I believe. If you keep this Treasure Hoarder around, that is. Knight of the Flowers coming in, has +1/+1 for the Tree Folk, has a good shield effect as well. Destroy nearest Tree Folk to draw a card, pay 2. I don't think you want to do that right now. I don't think we have Tree Folk in play here for sure. But sure. We'll go ahead and do that here. 5 gold for Take It side here. Could do a lot on turn. I mean, we're on turn 3, and we've got 5 gold to utilize here. Very scary is the pirate ramp these days. Savage Warlord, the card to come out with. Gain 1 treasure anytime a friendly slays an enemy. You pay 1 treasure, deal 3 damage to the nearest enemy as a once per turn effect here. So being able to utilize some treasure and ramp in a scary way. Another 3/6 this early. Nothing to really scoff at here. Nothing to really laugh at. Voyager will crack at the Lava Font here, giving Shore the option maybe to deal enough damage to it. Has 4 damage on board right now for the Lava Font, needs 2 more, maybe in a sneaky ambush perhaps? Which could deal a lot of work here to this board. It takes out the Voyager and the Hoarder, weakens Savage Warlord a bit, but at that point, still more manageable at that point. No, Knight of Flowers going in, removing the Voyager. Peggacorn here for the Shield Deflect. Passing it back to Take It. Nothing beyond the Peggacorn, but now we do have enough to kill the Lava Font over on Shore's side. Warlord coming out here. Might crack that. Yep. Takes a swing and destroys Knight of Flowers here, gaining a treasure in the process here. 7 gold to work with on turn 5 now. Bounty of the Earth, increasing your max gold, dealing castle by 3. Sea Hag. The follow-up card as well. Charging against Sea Hag quite aggressively as well. We haven't seen Sea Hag yet. Pay 2 from the Grave Call. Return this unit to your hand. Select a sea monster from your deck. Place it into your graveyard. Interesting. Alright. So perhaps maybe some Resurrection Graveyard shenanigans off the Sea Hag is the name of the game here. Big play out of the Beastmaster here, summoning out the 2 beasts, one being Battle Squirrel, one being the Fairycorn once again. Pretty dangerous to come out here. Murkon! Ooh, Murkon might have some things to say here. Actually, it's quite devastating with the fact that you have the Lava Font on board here. Murkon can trade away the Lava Font here, dealing some massive damage, but not going to kill off the Priest here, looks like. Lava Font being detonated by the Warlord here, dealing damage, getting rid of a couple of these shields here, yup. Popping the Pegacorn with the Treasure Hoarder, getting that more involved now. Grave Calling the Sea Hag, putting another Sea Hag into the graveyard? Okay. Divine Intervention here, resurrecting that Beastmaster here. 8 health for the castle. Not getting the best of selections, but hey, Sly Fox. Stealing from your opponent could be quite useful. We should know how valuable that is this tournament. Cow to defend here. I think Shore being pushed into a very defensive place. We do have 9 gold for the Grave Call. I believe we just need 2 for the Sea Hag. We did put another Sea Hag in the graveyard though, so I'm very curious on what this Sea Monster Graveyard calling is about. Grave Calling, putting the Loch Ness Monster in the bin. Alright. Oh, I get though. Sea Hag and the Sea Hag allows you to bring both into your hand to then utilize on the... I see. Warlord using that damaged treasure... Warlord using the damage from treasure to pop, I believe, the Battle Squirrel. Flat Fox being killed off. Murkon killing off the Beastmaster. Pushing up with both Sea Hags as well as the Fairy Queen now on board. Very dominant position here from Take It Boy. Shore only with a cow to respond, but we know does have some graveyard shenanigans of their own. Cow killing off Murkon, of course, with the shield, so it will stick to the board here. Sly Fox gonna go ahead draw. Oh, I mean Sly Fox and Sly Fox perhaps. A little bit of theft. Who doesn't love a little bit of thievery? Pegacorn as well for follow-up here. I think just really establishing some kind of defensive perimeter here. I don't think it's in a great position as now Take It now able to set up whatever strategy they were going for with maybe the Grave Call and the Sea Monsters. Sea Hag trading off for one of the Sly Foxes. Merchant's favored, dropping another Loch Ness Monster into the bin. Sly Fox again being killed off by another Sea Hag. Warlord taking a chip at the Pegacorn. Damage being used from the treasure to kill off said Pegacorn. Last Fairy Queen being Fairy Queen destroying the cow. Sea Hag's coming back out. All right, I mean this is quite an aggressive take on the sea monster stuff. It feels like we're just dumping the sea monsters in order to get more Sea Hags out to deal more damage and just be aggressive. Because these are only 1 gold each. Merchant's favor here. Beastmaster, not the greatest of pulls though, with the Wounded Deer and the Stone Lion, which is now immobile. We can simply move Fairy Queen out of the way to make sure that we don't die to the Stone Lion. Warlord using the treasure to kill off the Beastmaster. Sea Hag with the tag team to destroy the deer. Fairy Queen moving out of the way, popping the castle for some extra damage. Staying with the Warlord as well. And Sea Hags just being freely resummoned and resurrected with that Grave Call ability. There's not a lot of sea monsters in deck, but it seems like they're just pulling the Sea Hags into hand repeatedly with that Grave Call. They're just free units at that point, which I can respect. Lightning Bolt taking out the Savage Warlord. Stormseer, the card to play, of course. Angel of Mercy resurrecting the... Ooh. Not the greatest pull out of the graveyard, but that is another War Cow, so... We'll see. Any sort of way to get some defenses going, I guess. Dangerous Merchant of State card being played here. The Hurricane destroying all units. Sea Hags being brought back in the hand, being played again with that leftover treasure. Yep, right back on the board here, right in your face as well. Fairy is also not able to attack, but will still be a nuisance here. I believe you have the Melting Fairy, Night Fairy, and Angry Fairy, the one with a Rampage. We didn't see that one last time. We've seen the other two, but the Angry one is new. Yeah, there's been a lot of just cheap aggro. The Sea Hags are just great at providing some just aggression to the board here. Feast Your Rage on the Miguel. That's going to be a killer card. Death Strike also being avoided here because Miguel not taking damage because of his invulnerability. The Feast Your Rage being a great way to just clear house here. And putting a 7/7 directly on Kagan's board to use to deal with for later. Popping the Emergent State as well. Smart. Disrupting, take its draw, so that way there's no value out of these big cards like Hurricane, which we just saw there. Cracking the Vault for more gold, playing out a couple of these Hags again, I believe, right? Yep, just throw them right back on there. They're cheap. Pay 3, put a 2/1 on the board. Just keep that line going, and that might be what ends it. Blessed are the Meek, resurrecting all of these cards from the graveyard here. Stormseer, Last Cow. The Lion is back. Welcome back, Stone Lion. Free Lightning Bolt's going to go ahead and pop the... Oh. Alright. I mean, hey. Sometimes you just have to be aggressive to stop the aggro from bothering you, right? Savage Warlord once again can pay the treasure. Pop Murkon. Yep, there you go. Getting that treasure right back into take its possession. Sea Hag gonna pop the Stormseer. Red Pirate also coming out here with enough value to take out that cow. Lion gets a little stronger, but can easily avoid said Lion. Beastmaster is the stolen card. Of course, the Hag coming right back to hand. Rinse and repeat. It's an effective beatdown strategy, I gotta say. The Hags have been putting in quite the work. Judgment Day, paying the gold to keep Warlord on the field here. Blessed are the Meek again to just bring back some cards for defense. Cow to intercept here. Storm back. I think, sure, unfortunately, not seeing... I'm seeing a lot of the graveyard stuff, but not a lot of cards that can kind of swing the momentum back in his favor beyond the Sea Hag renewal, as you can see. Yep, just summon Sea Hag. Warlord taking out the Stone Lion. Popping Cow with the treasure, it looks like. Sunflowers in play to establish more of a board presence. Bounty of the Earth, increasing the max gold, healing up those sunflowers, and technically putting them a little bit stronger in stat lines, because of course whenever a friendly target is healed, including Castle, these guys will get a +1/+1 buff. And short, 2 cards in hand now to take it. I mean, take it also has been pushed to 2 cards here, it looks like. Lightning Bolt, Fairy Queen. Yeah, that's going to provide you a couple extra bodies. Absolutely. Ooh, tough ones in the lineup. Whole Fairy easy to remove, but the Regenerate one's a bit annoying to deal with. Fairy has been popped here. Great pulling those Sea Hags right back to the board. And it makes sense, too, when you have upward max of, like, 17 gold here, as you can see in Take-Its case. I mean, who's to say you can't spend a couple little bits extra every turn to get these cards back and in your possession? Just run them down. Priest healing. Yeah, that stall for time. Shield on one of these fairies here to make it protected against the sunflower. But yeah, no, I think this is going to be the end. The Sea Hag. Oh, that's a big forest giant walking on the board here. Flower trading with the priest here. One Sea Hags popping the remaining fairy. Everything else taking pot shots at the castle. 4 damage, another 4 from the Voyager and Hag combined. Sea Hag running it up. Pass turn. Reserving those 2 cards in hand. Thunderstorm is alleviated. But that might not matter. Anything for sure to swing this around. Angel of Mercy. Resurrecting the priest for some heals. Shield up on the priest to defend it against the incoming onslaught. That's not going to be enough, I think. Pirate here to pop the shield on Angel of Mercy. Steal a card, get some value. Oh, the Miguel is so unnecessary. Popping the priest. Invulnerable Hags after all. 3, 2, another 6 damage. Next turn, I think this game is over. Anything sure in the throw? Just cracks this, but no really way to give him some rampage to clear the board. The good game's being thrown out. That's going to be it. That's over. Take it will advance in our losers bracket. Murkon, the stolen card. Actually, no, I don't think it could be a stolen card. I'm not sure. They're both running druids, so both very likely to have it. But that will be a win for Take It Boy. Pirates once again proving to be a bit of a nuisance. It looks like the Hag control really putting in a lot of work that game. Being able to get killed off, repeatedly summoned, just even if there's no sea monsters in the deck to just put in the graveyard. And the fact that you just keep coming back to the hand is a bit scary. Certainly. Scary, scary stuff. Alright, and this means our next matchup here will be Rez taking on Scare Owl in our second of the losers quarters finals, where the winner of this match will meet Take It Boy, who then in the winner of that match goes on to see Day. The winner of that goes to see Tarek, and that will be our grand final best of 3. So, who knows? One of these players right here could make it all the way. We're not sure, but we'll see. This matchup begins here. Looks like Rec changed the game plan a bit, going on the Viking Ninja. Scare Owl committed to that Ninja Warlock build, though. Kage all the way, seems like. And a Lumberjack, turn 1 from Rec. Your next building costs 1 less. Classic Lumberjack, man. I haven't seen you in a hot minute. How you been? I mean, turn 1 play is a turn 1 play, right? Get it going early on. Ninja training over on Scare's side here, doing some deck filtering, it looks like. Seeing a card, picking it up, drawing it. Pretty much what the game plan is. We've seen a lot of that game plan throughout this tournament for Scare's matches. Lumberjack chipping up the Frost Geyser. Geyser, Jesus, excuse me. And Scare, meanwhile, turn 2. I was looking at the vault there for a second. Into the Rite of Fire, selecting a spell. Makes sense. Makes sense. Again, this is what the game plan has been. This is what we've seen Scare Owl do for most of this event. Putting up the Side Masters as a response. Not bad, but that Lumberjack will connect with one of them, I believe. We'll see which one, or at all even. Who knows? Chain Lightning could be devastating here if we had it, but nope. I'm going to go ahead and pop into one of the Side Masters, pass back on 3 gold. There could be a response, though. We know Vikings have that Cancel Magic card that could be played as a response. Just because we're not seeing something doesn't mean that there isn't a play. We'll see how both these Psy Masters are going to go ahead and move to intercept here. Both can take a strike at the castle, I believe. They can move through obstacles. It's like one will go ahead and hit in. Maybe the other one can't. Oh, we do want to clear the way, though. That's a big mobster. Mob's taking in for 3. Yeah, I can't walk through it. Gotcha. In their obstacles, why would you be able to walk through an obstacle? That's not how obstacles work, Red. Looks like a pass back turn 4 here. Uh-oh. Back in Scarow's turn here. Can we see the counter magic? Light of fire? No. Adding a spell, yeah. That's fine. Burning Rush, oh boy. Uh-oh. It's a lot more damage. 4 and 4. A Spirit Blast away from losing this game. He's wrecked. Very, very quick. Tag teaming in another Psy Master who doesn't get the ability to attack right away. Fun thinking, but not how that's going to work. Ah, Kai Jr.! There he is. 5 regenerative. Your opponent's spells and buildings cost 1 more to cast. Doesn't matter when the Spirit Blast is only so cheap as it is. And Scarow with a very, very... I think that was the fastest game we've seen out of our tournament so far. Very quick, very aggro-based. Shenanigans there with the Burning Rush will be very well done. Very well done. I see Day is not ready for the comment to hit, but maybe we'll have to face it off in the next matchup here. So we'll give players another moment or so, organize themselves, get ready, and they are going to go ahead and whatever they're set, they'll brawl to their heart's content. And of course, the winner here will go on to face Toric in our grand finals, a best of 3. So that won't just be a singular game to the finish. It will be a winner take all best of 3 series here. So, but not this one. The day and take it is a singular best of 1, and whoever wins that moves on to the best of 3 here. So certainly. Very exciting here as we're getting down to the very finale bits here of our tournament. Let's go ahead, start this thing up here. We see the same decks from each player here. Familiar faces, the red-yellow going up against the red-green here. And an early start, an aggressive start too. Inquisitor and Cow, turn 1. Utilizing the Vault's gold to have enough value for both of those cards. Very good start. Mortar's going to go ahead and pop the Inquisitor. Smart to not do the Cow with that. Even though Cow has more HP, the Cow taking damage would have given the Inquisitor the extra life bit here. Bit of a misplay here with the Frog, perhaps, and forgot to attack with it first to give Cow a bit of extra damage, but that's alright. We just want some damage. We want some aggressive bits to hit hard. Dragon's Fire, though, going to be a board clear on Take It side here, getting the initiative back to Day, who will pass it back. I think on turn 3, it looks like. Take It going to go ahead and introduce the Sea Hags. Honestly, Take It's MVP, I think, at this point in the event. Cloaks of Fire, dealing damage to the castle. Sure, make it a bit of a stronger one. And a brewery to boot on Day's side of things. Merchant Saber going to go ahead and increase the gold. Skeletal Swabi. Discard and tap the unit to increase your max gold by 1. Interesting. I mean, if you discard cards, they do go to the graveyard, so that could easily put some hags in the yard to kind of have a loop of gold gain. Sea Hag going to go ahead and meet the cavalry leader. Fall back a little bit. Lava Giant to clear it. Very nice there, establishing a big body, dealing more damage to castle. Also with the grave, with the hags in grave. That wasn't enough to pull it out of the graveyard this turn, but still. A Demon Soul on a Firemancer. You have to kill off the Lava Giant here, and a Righteous Revenger going to go ahead and make his presence felt. Four, not bad. Mercy State going down to Take It Boy. A Dark Sun on the Brewery. Ooh. Take It recognizing the importance of how those global buffs are going to play out in this matchup here and does not want any of it. Demon Soul here popping into the Revenger. This is a really fast beat-your-face type game. These players are going like brick for brick, punch for punch. They are not letting each other breathe. Killer into the Dread Pirate looks like. Cloak of Fire dealing that damage to the Revenger. Popping in with the Dread Pirate. Last Stand to give it some extra shield and stats. In response, though, here comes the Inquisition. Inquisition on the board here can take out the Dread Pirate, I believe, but we have to stock the whole Inquisition to do so. Psych! Here's Rakanoff! Devastating destruction here. Bearhog cages being popped, the Bearhog being set free, Inquisition doing its thing. The Inquisition welcoming Rakanoff into the board state. You throw it back to Take It, who plays Lava Giant for turn. Dragon's Fire on the remaining Rakanoff's HP, putting another big 6/6 on the board. Throwing it back to Day. There is, again, slug for slug happening in this bout. Mobster building Castle down. We have another one to kill off. We do, but that puts Castle at 4 HP. The Phoenix to go ahead and pop the Fire Drake smart because we are hurting for damage. Take It, have the Comet. We have 11 gold in hand. Oh no, it's Rakanoff. We survived by 1 though. We survived by 1. No, the Cloak of Fire! Oh, the Cloak in hand is enough to pack it up. Oh no. Wow, what an aggressive game. What a beat-your-face-in type of experience. Oh my goodness. Jeez. Alright, listen. We said it was going to be a bloody one. I mean, if I didn't already, I mean... Warlocks, man, they beat you up. They beat you sideways. And with both players running some strong Warlock-based strategies for that, it makes sense. It makes sense how devastating that can be. But very well done. Very well-earned victory from Take It, who now goes on to face Taurik in our best of 3. Ugh. We'll give the players a minute here to rejuvenate, to reset here, because, of course, Take It has been in a lot of back-to-backs here, so we'll give him a few. Meanwhile, Taurik waiting in the wings here is ready, is set to go. And, of course, this is a best of 3 scenario, so